Welcome, dearly beloved, anointed ones, and pay very close attention. The higher the place you are meant to occupy, the deeper the shadows they cast over your life. Every single day, you wake up feeling completely exhausted. The invisible battles have drained you because the world has demanded so much from your pure heart. But I need you to know something important right now. Your invisible crown is glowing in the dark, and it is finally time to take the throne. They looked right at you and pretended you were nothing. They treated you like you were absolutely invisible, but they were secretly terrified of your bright light. They never ignored your crown because they could not see it. They ignored it because it completely blinded their eyes. They desperately wanted you to believe you were fundamentally flawed, because if you ever realized your divine power, their illusion of control would collapse into dust. There is a profound spiritual reason why the enemy desperately wants you to think you are a failure. We are going to expose exactly what that is very soon. They tried to bury your confidence under heavy gaslighting and lies. They openly mocked your pure heart. They laughed out loud while you silently bled. But they made one fatal miscalculation in their dark strategy. They did not realize they were messing with God's weapon in disguise. You might think they are moving on happily with their normal lives. You might sincerely believe they are perfectly fine without you around. But behind closed doors, a completely different reality is unfolding right now. They are sweating in secret. They are nervously pacing the floor late at night. And I am going to explain exactly how this plays out in just a moment. Keep listening, because the brutal truth is going to shatter their fake facade. The isolation you have been sitting in was never a punishment. The intense loneliness that made you question everything was actually a divine quarantine. You were strategically hidden away by the universe. Heaven removed you from their tables so you would not be contaminated by their fake harmony, because your spiritual DNA requires absolute purity. While they thought they pushed you out, you were actually being elevated far beyond their toxic reach. You were never oversensitive. You were never crazy for seeing the dark things they desperately tried to hide. You possess a rare level of spiritual intelligence that acts as a massive glitch in their matrix. You do not just hear their spoken words. You easily read their dark intentions hidden behind forced smiles, because you are a living human lie detector. And the exact moment they realized you could see through their masks, they completely panicked. They tried to label you as the scapegoat, and they falsely blamed you for things you never even did. And you took those heavy hits in complete silence. But your quiet silence was never a sign of weakness or defeat. When you finally stopped arguing with them, you handed the pen directly to heaven. Every time you wept alone in the dark, those heavy tears were powerful spiritual codes. You were sending urgent divine alerts straight into the high courts. When heaven files a formal case, your quiet endurance becomes undeniable legal evidence. You did not fight back with their low vibrational tactics. You simply stood your sacred ground in absolute purity. And right now, God is actively pacing the courtroom of heaven on your behalf. The universe is carefully archiving every single receipt of their brutal betrayal, including those desperate smear campaigns. They committed heavy spiritual treason against a chosen soul. You are not an ordinary person. You never were. You are a highly anointed soul with a sacred spiritual mission. Every painful hardship was just a brutal training ground for the massive throne you are about to sit on. They thought they had successfully buried you deep in the heavy dirt, but they were deeply foolish and completely blind. They did not realize they were planting a rare divine seed, and chosen ones always resurrect with explosive and undeniable power. Stay with me right here. The spiritual mechanics of what is happening behind the scenes will absolutely blow your mind today. Do not let your beautiful attention wander away. You need to hear this next part to fully understand the massive energetic shift in your timeline. The story does not end with your silent and heavy pain. It ends with their total, unexplainable panic. You are standing right on the edge of massive divine vindication. So, Take a deep and healing breath. Stand very tall and feel the heavy weight of that glowing crown on your head. You do not have to apologize for your brilliant light anymore. You do not have to shrink yourself down to make those toxic people feel comfortable in their darkness. We are about to dive deep into exactly why your quiet peace is completely destroying them. Let us peel back the dark mask completely. Number 1. Let us carefully look behind their closed doors today. Because the dark reality they hide is completely pathetic. They expected you to break down and wildly explain yourself to everyone, but you gave them absolute chilling silence instead. You completely cut off their dark oxygen supply. And that is exactly why they are quietly pacing the floor late at night, absolutely terrified of the truth you secretly know. When they ran their toxic smear campaign against you, they expected total destruction. They truly believed their loud lies would crush your bright spirit, but an incredible spiritual law immediately flipped the entire script on them. Your lack of reaction created massive cognitive dissonance in their fragile minds, deeply triggering their darkest insecurities. They watched your steady peace, and it broke them. They spent massive energy trying to curse your brilliant light. But spiritual law does not work with their human logic. When you spend your entire life trying to drown someone who can naturally breathe underwater, the only person left gasping for air is you. Their heavy negative energy has returned to sender. And they are suffocating in the exact trap they carefully built for you. Number 2. They realize they have completely lost access to your mind. They used to easily push your delicate buttons and trigger deep emotional responses. They fed their hungry egos by watching you frantically scramble to fix the relationship. But one day you simply woke up and stopped playing their twisted games, pulling your precious energy back and locking the heavy door completely tight. You became a highly impenetrable fortress of raw spiritual power. They can still look at your bright light from a distance, but they will never be allowed to touch your pure energy again. You have successfully elevated far beyond the low range of their toxic influence. You have become entirely untouchable. And the heavy silence of that beautiful reality is louder than any human scream. This brings us to a deeply hidden truth about their true motives. Here is the exact reason why they tried so incredibly hard to break you down. They did not just want to make you look bad. They were unconsciously launching a massive spiritual attack against your mind. They wanted to permanently scramble your divine connection to the universe. And they almost succeeded. This is exactly why clearing your mental space is not just basic self-care. It is active spiritual warfare on the highest possible level. Carrying the heavy weight of a chosen one takes a massive physical toll on your spirit. The dark warfare you endured was a desperate attempt to scatter your natural frequency, actively attacking your sharp intuition with their extremely low vibrational noise. They wanted your beautiful mind completely full of heavy fog and deep confusion. Because a confused chosen one cannot accurately read the clear signs from heaven, they knew your brain was naturally running on a powerful wave, the exact special frequency where your deep intuition and your divine downloads actually happen. And they systematically tried to violently suppress that sacred frequency. But here is the beautiful truth they desperately do not want you to know. While they were busy trying to drain your precious life energy, science actually found a powerful way to block their dark interference. There is a specific secret about the pure frequency your brain is naturally wired for, and I am going to explain exactly how this plays out in just a moment. Keep listening closely, because this hidden knowledge will permanently change how you see your enemies forever. You can never operate at your peak divine frequency if you allow their low vibrational noise to heavily linger in your sacred space. You deeply need to understand exactly what they stole from you in the dark. Do not let your beautiful mind wander away right now. Let us look at their most desperate and pathetic stall tactics. Number 3. They will try to send out tiny manipulative probes to test your strong boundaries. They might send a completely random message acting like nothing happened, or ask a simple question just to see if you will respond. They are desperately fishing for your precious energy, but your pure heart is no longer an open playground for their demons. When you permanently withhold your precious access, they instantly feel a massive spiritual starvation. You were the clean energy source that kept their matrix running smoothly, and without your bright light, their fragile reality is rapidly glitching. They are deeply panicking because they cannot fix it. They sit around in dark, toxic circles, wondering why everything is suddenly going wrong. They try to desperately scheme a new evil plan to quickly bring you back down, but heaven has already placed an invisible iron wall right around your spirit. Every single heavy arrow they shoot at you simply bounces off and hits them back, because this is the pure mechanics of divine justice. We are about to uncover the most dangerous part of your spiritual evolution. They foolishly thought they were simply fighting against a regular human being. But they did not realize they had just officially declared war on the universe. The final piece of this puzzle is going to totally expose their deepest psychological fears. Hold on to that clarity as we confidently move forward. Let us peel back the final dark layer of their manipulation today. Number 4. They actively tried to rewrite your actual history and twist your sacred truth, because they wanted you to constantly doubt your own clear memories. This is the dark psychological reality of their desperate gaslighting. They deeply feared your sharp mind. They knew you possessed the absolute truth. But here is the massive plot twist they never saw coming. Your deep spiritual intelligence simply cannot be manipulated by their low-level human lies. You quietly observed their incredibly toxic behavior without saying a single word, and you became a giant mirror reflecting their ugly darkness right back at them. And that exact reflection absolutely destroyed their fragile egos. This is the exact reason why your pure silence terrifies them deeply. We have finally closed the loop on their pathetic psychological warfare. You completely starved their hungry demons by withholding your precious energy, and they are desperately grasping for thin air right now. Your beautiful mind is no longer their personal playground. You have securely locked the heavy iron gate. But we must address the heavy physical toll this spiritual war took on you. The intense warfare you bravely endured was not just emotional. It actively attempted to suppress the natural frequency of your brilliant brain. You have felt the heavy brain fog settling in over the years, and you have noticed your sharp intuition feeling strangely blocked. This was their ultimate dark goal. They desperately needed you to stay completely out of alignment with the universe, because a fully aligned chosen one is a massive threat to their dark matrix. Before we go any further into the divine reversal, I must tell you something crucial, something the dark forces pray you never figure out. Do not look away now, because what happens next is the exact hidden knowledge that will set you totally free. Brilliant neuroscientists quietly working away from the loud headlines have discovered a massive secret. They found out exactly how to bring your dormant divine brainwave completely back. It is not through years of exhausting meditation that most people cannot possibly sustain. It is not through incredibly expensive clinic visits costing thousands of dollars. It is much simpler and perfectly aligned with how your spirit was originally designed. The scientific researchers discovered a specific sound frequency that guides your brain back to its pure state. The exact high frequency you naturally possessed as a highly gifted child, back when your deep intuition was incredibly loud and perfectly clear. Famous universities have studied this specific wave extensively, and they successfully confirmed it is the absolute master key to your raw power. When this specific brainwave is fully reactivated in your mind, amazing things happen. You suddenly know exactly what to do next without any heavy doubt. The deep brain fog completely vanishes into thin air. You step back into the beautiful flow state, where the universe actively works for you, and your elevated energy begins to positively influence your entire home environment. Your bright light begins to completely heal the people closest to you. And you only need 7 short minutes a day to achieve this powerful alignment. 7 minutes to completely wash away decades of their toxic residue from your tired brain. You just relax and let the specific sound wave do the heavy lifting, because no hard effort is required from your beautiful soul today. I will absolutely tell you how to access this powerful tool before our time ends today. But first, you need to deeply understand the massive spiritual reversal happening right now. Because heaven was never neutral in this brutal war against your pure light. The universe was simply waiting for the divine scales to finally tip, and the dark game is officially over for them. Do not pause this message, and do not click away under any circumstances. The final piece of this divine puzzle is going to totally shock you. Every piece of human logic tells you that they somehow got away with their dark crimes. It feels like an unbearable injustice that they are still smiling today, but the highest courtroom of heaven is no longer in recess anymore. They thought they were simply fighting against a deeply broken target. They did not realize they had just foolishly declared war on the divine creator. Prepare your pure spirit for the ultimate divine retribution today. The massive spiritual trap they built is rapidly collapsing right on top of their own heads, so let us walk straight into the holy fire together right now. Your total vindication is not just a distant dream anymore. It is a solid, universal law unfolding right before your beautiful eyes. They thought they successfully buried you deep in the cold ground forever. But they completely forgot that pure light can never be destroyed by their cheap dirt, and you are rising up with an undeniable power they can never comprehend. Now take a deep breath, chosen one, because from here the universe takes completely over. Number 5. We are stepping directly into the terrifying glitch in the matrix they tried to avoid. You might genuinely wonder why they are suddenly experiencing bizarre streaks of heavy misfortune right now. This is not an accident of fate. It is the absolute divine timing orchestrating a massive reversal in real time. God did not forget what they did to your pure heart. He did not simply overlook the brutal way they treated you while you were down. He was just silently giving them enough rope to completely hang themselves. But that grace period is officially over today. What is coming for them is not petty emotional revenge. It is strict legal correction from the absolute highest spiritual authority. The highest courtroom of heaven is no longer in recess. The heavy golden gavel has finally struck the table. And the final divine verdict is written in permanent fire. They proudly played with dangerous spiritual fire, deeply thinking they were above any cosmic consequences, but they made a massive, fatal error when they targeted an anointed soul. The scales of justice are heavily tipping. Here is the dark psychological loop we promised to close for you today. The massive glitch in the matrix is simply your absolute silence. When you spend your life trying to drown someone who naturally breathes underwater, the only one gasping for thin air is you. Their dark energy has forcefully returned to sender. The evil trap they set has become the permanent coffin of their own ego. You did not even have to lift a single human finger to destroy them. You simply stood incredibly still while the laws of karma handled their absolute destruction. Imagine a fool pouring toxic acid on the floor, hoping it will quickly eat through your solid foundation. But the glass container is already cracked, and the burning acid eats completely through their own bare hands first. That is exactly what is happening to their fake reality right now. They ruthlessly mocked your breakdowns and foolishly thought your silent tears meant total defeat. What they completely failed to understand is that your tears were never begging. Your tears were powerful spiritual codes, sending urgent red alerts straight to the divine creator. You were actively summoning an unstoppable cosmic force. You were never weakly falling apart in the dark. You were simply being perfectly realigned for your massive destiny. And the universe does not negotiate with toxic demons who actively attack its chosen ones. The heavy doors of divine favor are slamming shut in their panicked faces today. Heaven is aggressively collecting every single painful receipt they ever created in your beautiful life. Their carefully curated public mask is violently shattering into 1,000,000 pieces. They are currently sitting in the dark corner, mentally pacing the floor. The false story they told themselves about your weakness is gone forever. Their entire fake reality is aggressively glitching out, and they are absolutely terrified. They finally realize you clearly saw right through their ugly masks from day one. You do not need to lower your strict boundaries for them today. You do not need to step down from your high throne to offer them any false peace. Let pure karma completely handle them from this day forward. Withholding your sacred access is the most powerful spiritual weapon you proudly possess. They are permanently locked out of your beautiful life, and the iron key has been totally thrown away. You have successfully elevated far beyond the low frequency of their desperate influence. They can still look up and clearly see your bright light shining in the sky. But they can never reach up and touch your pure energy again. You have become a completely untouchable force of nature, and the heavy silence of that beautiful reality is absolute torture to their deeply broken and hungry egos. It is finally time to confidently step up and take your rightful throne. Your invisible glowing crown is resting heavily on your head right now. You are the rare glitch in their matrix that successfully broke their entire corrupt system. You survived their darkest emotional manipulations, and you emerged as a highly weaponized being of pure divine light. The absolute spiritual victory is yours today. Stand firmly in your massive, undeniable power right now. Because your simple, beautiful existence is the ultimate final judgment against their deeply toxic lives. They desperately tried to violently steal your golden destiny, but they only managed to quickly accelerate your divine promotion. Let their dark, fake empire silently crumble to the cold ground. You are busy building a brilliant new kingdom in the sun. The divine verdict is fully written in holy fire. The spiritual game is permanently over today. You do not have to defend your pure heart anymore. The universe has fully recognized your high frequency, and the glowing shield around you is absolutely impenetrable. Let them drown in the heavy consequences of their own dark actions. You simply sit on your rightful throne and watch the scales balance. Your only sacred mission now is to fiercely protect the deep clarity they desperately tried to steal, because carrying the heavy weight of a chosen one takes a massive physical toll. The brutal spiritual warfare you survived left a lingering toxic residue on your tired mind. Their ultimate goal was never just emotional damage. It was a calculated attempt to completely scatter your divine frequency. They actively tried to attack your natural intuition with their extremely low vibrational noise. And a team of brilliant neuroscientists recently proved exactly how this silent warfare damages your sacred mind. The heavy stress from those toxic environments actively suppresses your natural gamma brainwaves. But here is the massive spiritual secret they tried to hide. The gamma wave is the exact sacred frequency where your absolute highest divine downloads happen. It is the brilliant frequency you naturally possessed as an untouched child. You desperately need to wash their toxic residue from your sacred brain completely. You cannot successfully operate at your highest divine frequency if you allow their dark noise to heavily linger in your space. This is the exact reason why I rely on a specific powerful tool to keep my pure vibration entirely untouchable. The universe provides the massive spiritual shield, but practically resetting your tired mind requires a specific daily protocol. A brilliant team of researchers compressed a full gamma activation into a highly targeted 7-minute audio track. You just put your headphones on and close your beautiful eyes to completely relax. No exhausting meditation or complicated mantras are required today. The specific sound wave simply forces your brain right back into perfect divine alignment. It rapidly clears the heavy fog and activates your genius-level clarity again. This highly classified spiritual tool is officially called the Genius Song. Over 18,000 chosen ones have already used it to quickly unlock their financial abundance. They deeply healed their heavy relationships and stepped fully into their power. You could easily spend thousands of dollars on private clinical biofeedback sessions, but this specific track delivers that exact same massive spiritual upgrade for a tiny fraction of its true value. But you must listen very carefully right now. The internet is heavily flooded with incredibly dangerous fake activation tracks. These cheap imitations are actively designed to completely drain your precious energy and steal your power. Do not ever fall for the diluted counterfeits circulating on the major streaming platforms today. You must strongly protect your pure frequency. I have placed the only official and fully verified link to the Genius Song directly in the pinned comment below. And because your absolute divine truth deeply matters, this comes with an ironclad guarantee. Your massive energy investment is completely protected by the high universe. If your sacred frequency does not shift immediately, your entire energy exchange is fully returned without any questions. Heaven simply does not require you to take a single heavy risk today. The incredible universe does not ask you to choose between your deep faith and your absolute security. The sacred door is wide open for you. Do not let their low vibrational noise linger in your beautiful mind for another day. The chosen one who tragically hesitates at the open threshold becomes the one who forever wonders what could have been. Step powerfully forward without any human fear. Access the exact frequency activation at the pinned link below, right now. 4 incredible bonus gifts are actively waiting for you when you claim your access today. Reclaim your brilliant mind and quickly unlock the massive abundance that is divinely yours. Check the official verified link in the description and the pinned comment. Then, firmly hit that subscribe button to join the unstoppable chosen ones. You are a rare glitch in their matrix. You are God's chosen weapon in brilliant disguise. Your absolute victory was fully written before this battle even started. Rest deeply on your massive throne tonight, knowing you have already won the highest spiritual war. The whole universe is completely on your side, forever.